Yikes.
Stop.
Hey, whoa. My goodness.
Just as a mess. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, God.
Dun, dun.
Feeling a little rough this morning. All this streaming I'm doing all the time, it's starting to catch up with me. Hey, Wise, good morning.
It's morning again.
Yeah, it sure is. Hey, Denise in the house. Always more fun with Denise in the house. We'll be drinking some liberal tears today. Watch some lefty hyperventilation. And we're going to learn all sorts of things about Donald Trump that I didn't know.
We are.
Oh, yeah. Rachel Maddow's going to tell us all about it. Fake news. Fake news.
No, honey. You can do an impression of pretty much anyone,
But not Donald Trump.
but not Donald Trump. I'm sorry.
It's huge. It's huge. It's going to be big.
That's a little better.
Yeah, not really.
Na, 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 na,
Funny
na,
part
na,
is he's
na, na, na,
he's
na.
very memeable, you know. But I just can't nail that one. That's what he said. Oh.
You can't do that yourself.
Why can't I do that to myself? Like autoerotica, right? Oh, God. You guys. Here we go, guys. Here we go. One more time. Yeah, that's right. I believe if memory serves correctly, this would be, good morning, guys. This would be 15 times we've been doing
15.
this. 15
Oh,
times.
really?
Yeah. Morning, my name is Tim. I am your
15?
truth slinger du jour. 15 times, man.
jour.
3 weeks. I think this is the third week, isn't it?
I think so.
I think it is. It's crazy.
Wow.
Man, time flies when you are having fun.
It
and if you are
does.
here with us, you are having fun. That's guaranteed, right?
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Be careful.
Be careful with what?
I don't know. Don't be guaranteeing things.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just
So,
speaking from the legal department.
oh, okay. All right. Yeah, gotcha. We wouldn't want to get in any legal jeopardy there. So last night was up late, way past my bedtime, man.
Yeah.
And I actually petered out during the Trump speech last night, about 11:20, 11:30, something like that. And I watched the beginning part of the speech, and it was awesome. It was everything I expected it to be.
Do you remember when he was? He said that he was going to recount the near-death experience, and then he would never talk about it again.
Yeah. It was really cool. And so he did that, and then he went into, he dovetailed it into his boilerplate stuff, which is you hear at all the rallies and stuff.
Yeah,
and I've
right.
heard like every speech he's ever given. So I said, well, we're gonna have to get up early in the morning, and just I think I need to go to bed. So I just shut it down. Plus, I had I gotta put a post-it on my screen somewhere that says "Put gas in generator before show" all the time, because we're going long days now. We stream in the morning. There you go. Hey, dude, what's up, Tater? You good boy.
Yes.
And
I don't know.
yeah, he likes to hang out back there. He feels
Can you
safe.
see him? He's
Yeah,
behind me.
He's providing lumbar support this
Lumbar
morning.
support.
Yes, lumbar support. That's what he is.
He's a strange little dog.
Yes, he is. But
my
a
baby.
lovable little dude.
Remember how little he was when we got him?
Oh, he was teeny.
He was
When-
like a little hot dog.
Yeah, and we were bringing him home, and we stopped at this flea market. Remember this indoor
Yeah.
flea market? And we
Yeah.
found a little stuffed bear with a sweater.
We took this.
And we took this sweater up, and we put him in the sweater. He was, oh,
Yep.
God, he was so cute.
And then we went to Walmart. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
And we brought him in.
Oh, into Walmart?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
everybody
we
thought
were
he was
like-
just
yeah,
totally
yeah.
adorable. And then he grew up
So
into that
cute.
little stinker there, so...
Yeah, and I even bought like a purse because I was going to do the cute little dog thing, right? He was supposed to be like 4 pounds.
Yeah, sure,
He's
right.
like 16 or
He's a-
17 pounds
Yeah,
now.
we're
It's
not hauling his ass around in a... Now, I have stuffed him under a blanket and then under my arm, and I carry him like a football.
Oh my God. Into a hotel.
Into hotels, I know I'm going to go to hell because I lied about bringing my pet in the damn thing. See, now
Now
we-
they can't really.
Now they can't say shit because we looked up all the rules about it, right? And the one good thing is, you can enjoy some of the stupid shit that the libtards do. And and one of the good things is, at first I used to really, laugh at the whole emotional support animal shit.
Yeah.
But I love my fucking dogs, man. I want them to go everywhere with me.
Yep.
I mean, if I go down to the store, every time it's like, come on, boys and girls.
Yep. And Airbnb has a really good policy. They say, you can't have pets or you got to pay a pet fee, but if you have a service dog, they can't even ask you if you have a service dog.
Nope.
They're not considered pets.
Nope. I just so knowing this, right? I just waltzed into the hotel because they're starting to get figure this shit out, like that people drive down to the end and they use the key card in the end and then they sneak their
Slip
shit in,
in. Yeah.
And so they're starting to get wise to that kind of crap. So they're
Yeah, but
locking
the
all the
service
extras. So
animal-
I had to go right in front of the desk, I said, shit, just own it, man. Just own it. Just act like you fucking own the joint, right? Just walk right up to the elevator and just with those dogs, and they're well trained on a leash. They really are. And the lady looks at me and she goes, "Are those service animals?" And I'm like, "Yep." And she goes, "Okay, I just wanted to check so I can write down
It
for my
lets
boss."
them off the hook,
Yep,
too.
completely.
They don't have to worry about it.
Yep, completely. And I like it. I like it a lot. So, and the dogs traveled really well on the way down to Florida. It was so much fun to have them. But no, you know what, man? Yeah, nuts. There's a lot of news going on this morning, guys. And Denise, just our roving reporter from Canada, up in the Great White North, there, our Canuck friend. She says that Biden may, the rumor has it that Biden's going to be dropping out over the weekend.
Yeah.
Now, in my opinion, based on what I've seen, I really kind of think they expect to be able to pressure him out by the weekend. I don't think I honestly don't believe that right now, guys, that he is. I think he's just in full blown dementia, and I think they got a real pickle on their hands. I mean, I just don't. and so they're bringing, all the money's dried up. Everybody's running that away from the party, like they're in total, absolute free fall. They got nothing. They got nothing. They don't got the bookkeeper. They got nothing. Okay, so it's hilarious to watch, and so I want to spend some time this morning watching a bunch of cackling biatches. Okay, over at MSNBC over there. Being total assholes, right? But there's some interesting things to note there. So I figured, it's there's nothing more delicious than watching these people because the convention went off like a hitch. And if you were with us last night, if you weren't, oh shit, did you miss a good time? Oh my God.
Hulk Hogan,
man, you want to talk
Dana
about
White, Kid Rock.
Americana, man. It was Americana fest.
Yeah.
Okay, and when Hulk Hogan gets up there, tears his shirt off. Oh, it was great.
It was.
Oh, it was great. It was great. I was so riled up. And so everybody,
No.
everybody is gushing about the RNC.
Yeah.
Frank Luntz, man, our favorite pollster, is saying he's amazed, he's shocked. He says this is a completely
new party.
Yeah, completely,
which is good because he's very critical.
Yeah,
usually.
Yeah, and Kid Rock, I don't know, man. My personal opinion on the thing is there was a very weird Metallica thing going on, and so he had a Metallica backbeat, and then he used it to, as a.
But apparently, what I read was that it was a remake of one of his songs, American Badass or something. But it totally sounded like Metallica.
Yeah, it was. Well, it had the Metallica backbeat to it.
Wow.
So it was a little strange, but it was still. It was still rousing. Let's just say that, right? Rousing. Everybody was roused.
Ooh.
And then this morning we saw, which we'll take a look at in a minute. Hopefully, if it's in the bookmarks, is the way they closed. They closed with opera. Oh my God,
that
guys.
That was weird.
It was weird, but cool.
But it was good.
It was really, really cool. But so they did a really good job at the RNC, in my opinion. I don't think they could have done a better job humanizing Donald Trump, keeping the message about unity while still having attack dogs out there, making sure that people know what's going on right now and how things are. And so it was great. But as a result, the left is going absolutely apoplectic.
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening is all the attention off of the assassination attempt, which is a whole nother thing because the Secret Service still ain't talking and Cheadle is still not quitting and she's not been fired still.
Right.
Okay.
Well, she's supposed to go in on Monday.
We shall see. Apparently, the DHS, Mayorkas. I hate that guy. Mayorkas. That guy, that bald piece of shit.
Oh.
Okay. That roll-on deodorant, evil Dr. Evil motherfucker. He is. The borders are totally closed.
Totally.
They are. We have full operational control of the border.
No way.
No, treason. Should hang like till dead.
Ooh.
Sorry, but it's the way it is, man.
Is it?
I don't think we're going to even be able to deport our way out of this fucking mess, to tell you the truth, guys. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, enough of me swearing already.
Terrible.
Let's check out the two-panel news B. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. There is our Twitter feed.
YouTube sucks. Every day we get these copyright content detected.
Oh, YouTube is asshole, and
it's like if I can play a video on YouTube
that has music, why can't I restream the same song that I got from YouTube?
Right.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Just because they don't like it, it's not really illegal.
It's stupid.
I mean, whatever.
It's stupid.
It is
and so,
totally stupid.
And so I just said, I don't care if they limit my monetization because I'm like not anywhere near being monetized anyway. And I'm sorry, life it would just not be as satisfying without this.
Bum, 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 bum.
Someone stole a Kishka, someone stole a Kishka, someone stole a Kishka from the butcher shop. Who stole a Kishka? Who stole a Kishka? Who stole a Kishka? Someone call the cop.
Hey, all right, that's enough.
Wow.
Who stole the Kishka, right?
stole
But I mean,
the
it's like that kind of stuff. That music is the spice of life right there. It's a spice of the show. It's a necessary part.
Polka.
And so, yes, polka. Yes. Thank you.
sorry.
Thank you for sharing that with us this morning. All right, so we're just so thrilled at this morning show. I'm so mean to you. You're the one that hiccuped in my ear, man. Turn your shit down over here. God, man.
Don't turn me down.
Okay.
Are you
So
through?
Waz
Are you about
said that
through?
the show just wouldn't be the same without you.
Oh
you know,
my God.
and
Because you need a foil.
Yeah, I do. I need to be foiled at every turn.
That sounds
You foil me.
kind of weird.
It does, but it works. Okay, so let me go over here and call your attention to our wonderful Twitter feed and talk about that for just a second. Here's the tip button, just to call it to your attention. Here's the link tree, which goes to all the different places that you can buy me a cup of coffee or us a cup of coffee. That'd be even better. 2 cups is always better than 1. There are 2 of us, right? And then there's
our
other
cup is
places you
broken.
can follow us. And if you're still crusty and you're on Facebook, you go over there and follow us over there. Every once in a while, I check in. I just sort of automatically load shit over there, right? So anyway, enough of the commercial for us. The Truth Slinger coverage last night was pretty exciting. When the second time I got it up.
That's what he said.
Oh wow!
Wow, you
Little
were
slow.
so late.
I'm late.
You were late on the rim shot.
I'm late.
Yes.
That's what she said.
Okay.
Okay, right. So yeah, last night it was great, man. We got 2,126 views, and because people were tuning in, people wanted to see it. And I don't know, for some reason, some people weren't able to comment on X. I don't know what was going on there. And so, but we had 6.8 thousand impressions.
Wow.
Now, this is really notable for us because, for once, actually, that we're probably going to lose our monetization because we just don't.
On Twitter?
Eventually, at the rate we're going.
Yeah, no, I need to post more. Don't.
Yeah. So when are you going to get
Why are you
started
being
with
so
that
passive?
project again,
I
right?
have been.
Anyway, but what's happening now is our own original content is starting to is starting to have thousands of views, and stuff. So that's pretty exciting stuff, right? When original content, and that's it's great when I get something to go viral, right? That I found somewhere and posted it. But it's way cooler, right? It's way cooler if I do original content. And even though YouTube is asshole, let me just pop over here for a second because this is pretty cool. You can see that this short that I did, that was the one that I did about the X-Files one, about the sloped roof. That did really great, man. It got 5.8 thousand views, predominantly through the shorts feed. But look at this. I got 16 subscribers off of it. So it's worthwhile, trying to maintain all these platforms because you never know what's going to happen. And with, the technology stuff that's going on and the weird shit that's going on out there with, cyber warfare and all that crap, we don't know where we're going to always be, right? And who knows? We might say the wrong thing and bam, we're gone again, right? So that's happened before. And but we try and follow the rules around here best we can anymore and try and speak in code. Yeah, at 11 o'clock last night, we had 1,050 views. So it was pretty cool. No more tweeter, dude. 24th letter of the alphabet. Life is 42. What the hell are you talking about, Jeff? Jesus Lord. Okay. So Donald Trump was awesome last night. He was great. The RNC closed with a huge bang. That was a lot of fun. But there was alternative programming available over at MSNBC. Now I'm going to you're gonna have to suffer through this with me, and but just think about all of the zeitgeist that's surrounding this important news broadcast that I saw this morning, and I said, "Oh my God, I learned so much about Donald Trump." Like, just watch, just watch this. Right?
Tonight, the Republican convention comes to its conclusion as the Republican Party's presidential nominee gives his acceptance speech. And he is giving this acceptance speech, I think it cannot be overstated. He is giving this acceptance speech in truly unique, even bizarre circumstances. I mean, there's no nicer way to say this, but he is a felon. Recently convicted of 34 felony criminal charges, now awaiting sentencing for those charges, facing...
Oh, my God. He's a felon. Oh, what am I to do? What are we to do? Oh, no. Oh, my God. She needs a parrot, dude. She needs a parrot, because as we watch this, I can't tell you how many times she has to say that word. She just needs a parrot.
Felon.
Felon, felon, rat, felon, felon, rat, felon. It's just crazy shit. But this is what they got. This is what they're going with, man. Right? Oh God, I'm losing my voice. Shit is insane. Watch this. This is crazy tunes.
Up to 4 years in prison. He's also under indictment in other jurisdictions, not only a multi-count RICO criminal indictment under Georgia state law, but also a multi-count federal criminal indictment in D.C. District Court in Washington.
Felon.
Happily for the nominee, but just adding to the weirdness of it for all the rest of us.
Weirdness.
At this moment, he is no longer facing multiple additional felony federal charges in Florida
why is that?
under the Espionage Act. But that's only thanks to a shock ruling from a judge he appointed in his last days in office. That shock ruling is now being appealed, which means if the appeal by prosecutors is successful, we might expect that the nominee will end up federally indicted under the Espionage Act again. In addition to the other charges he is still facing. The Espionage Act charges, of course, relate to...
All right, now we're going to look at all these boxes, but let's back up just one little teeny weeny second. Isn't it great? Everybody gets together, at the RNC and travels to Milwaukee so that they can be there, part of the energy, just sitting there in the balcony over the floor, right? Isn't that cool that they're there? And I mean, it's all of them, we'll see, right? It's the whole crew of them there. And, yeah. And unfortunately, there's only one problem. Yeah.
Go to Savannah.
Where'd she go?
Keep going.
She would air. There she is. All right. Listen to this reporting from our favorite Hispanic
Savannah Hernandez.
reporter on the beat.
All right, y'all, this is Savannah Hernandez reporting to you on day 4 of the RNC from the floor. Now, you guys know that I've been confronting members of the media all week, and you might have asked, hey, Sav, how come you haven't confronted Jen Psaki, Joy Reid, or Rachel Maddow of MSNBC? They've been doing live coverage all week. Well, it's because I found out they're actually sitting in front of an LED screen. Now, behind me is the NBC booth where I'm sure they're taking that live feed from. And this is actually the shot that has been behind them. And I have been trying to find their booth all week. I've been trying to, figure out coverage-wise how I could figure out when their shows end, and I couldn't find them. And this is why. They aren't actually here at the event. The live coverage that they're doing, is not from the conference, and it's actually kind of fake, if we're being honest here. So just wanted to give you an update as to why there won't unfortunately be a confrontation in which I'm able to ask Joy Reid, hey, you have been pushing conspiracy theories all week that former President Donald Trump actually wasn't shot. What's your response to that? Would you like to correct the record? Unfortunately, I won't be able to ask former press secretary Jen Psaki about why she had to recently make a retraction to her book because she lied to the American public and tried to say that Joe Biden didn't look at his watch during the ceremony for the 13 slain troops that were brought back home from Afghanistan. That won't be happening because MSNBC's show is not actually being held here live at the RNC. Just wanted to give you guys an update on that from the floor of day 4 of the RNC as we are all set to listen
where
to
she
Donald Trump
actually
speak
is
for the first time tonight after that Saturday assassination attempt.
So what do you think of that, boys and girls? Fakes, fraudsters. Okay? There's a whole panel here of 5 people you'll see in a minute. Okay, who start chiming in and cackling in a minute. They're
not even there.
They're not even there. They're sitting in front of a projected image or something, or a green screen. It's ridiculous.
In addition to the other charges he is still facing.
Felony.
The Espionage Act charges, of course, relate to bizarre revelations about him hoarding and hiding hundreds of classified documents, including very classified documents, at his home in Florida after his presidency, even after federal authorities let him know that he had these documents when he should not have, and he needed to give them back.
I wonder who knocked the box over.
The charges of which he was already convicted in New York derive from him using the family business he inherited from his father to cover up payments he made to a woman named Stormy Daniels to try to stop her from speaking publicly before the 2016 election about an unpleasant sexual encounter she says she endured with Mr. Trump about a year after he married the former First Lady, Melania Trump, and not long after she gave birth to their son. Although Mr. Trump denied that alleged sexual encounter took place, Mrs. Trump, Melania Trump, was conspicuously absent from that trial, even when the jury delivered its verdict that he was guilty on all 34 felony counts. Mrs. Trump has still been even more conspicuously absent from every one of his campaign trail events this entire year, and almost all his other events as well.
Oh, my God.
Since he left the White House.
Are they on the rocks?
Which is not a typical president and first lady arrangement.
Oh, God.
Which, of course, is fine. Who among us knows what makes anyone else's marriage?
Is this not the height of richness? Okay, isn't this the party of Billary?
Billary, yes.
Isn't it? Isn't it the party of Billary, guys?
Yeah.
Right? 2 estranged people. One of them is a poon hound. And the other one, I mean, do you remember at the fucking, I'm sorry. The inauguration, he was eyeing up Ivanka Trump, Bill was. He was like licking his lips. And Hillary gave him the dirty ass look. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. He couldn't even contain himself. Okay. When he was on national television at the inauguration.
It was a great image.
Filthy. Yeah. But now, watch this. We're going to apparently have a fun time, something funny. Apparently, it's going to hit their funny bone. Just wait for it.
Which, of course, is fine. Who among us knows what makes anyone else's marriage? Love is a many splendored thing. But that record of her, did you say?
Just a joke. I heard it calling a lot.
Really good. I want everybody to know at home. I can also hear you through the television. So be on your best behavior.
What the hell are they laughing at?
What? The record of Melania Trump avoiding being seen with her husband ever.
Ridiculous clown show. Are you too hot?
A little bit, yeah.
Nah, no, you're not. You're never too hot for me, baby.
Oh.
These people, I mean,
so
what?
Mean.
Who the fuck watches this stuff? Okay? I mean, what the hell is that? And I mean, but that's what they got? That's what they got. That's what they got. This is all they have is to do is just to go Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. And make, I don't even know what that joke was. But what a sad bunch of people. Not to mention, they ain't even there. They ain't even there.
For years at a time now, does make it notable that we're about to see something very unusual. We are about to see within the next few minutes that she is in Milwaukee tonight, that she is in the building at the Republican convention for Donald Trump's acceptance of the Republican presidential nomination this evening. That itself a notable and unusual circumstance.
Very unusual.
When Donald Trump left the presidency in January 2021, he did not attend the inauguration of his successor. That itself unique in American history. Trump left in his wake the worst incidents of political violence the country has ever seen in a presidential transition.
A little bit.
The only time we
J13.
haven't had a peaceful transition of power from one president to the next, arguably ever, arguably since the Civil War. The criminal charges that are still pending against the Republicans' presidential nominee, the ones in Georgia and Washington, they relate to his refusal to leave office after he was voted out. They relate to the violent coup attempt that he launched, the mob of his supporters that tried to physically stop Congress from certifying the results of the election in which he was voted out of office. That election, I remind you, was not close. Donald Trump lost his re-election bid by more than 7 million votes and by more than 70 electoral votes.
Oh, my God.
And that electoral failure is emblematic of his performance as the Republican Party's leader. Yes, he did get elected to the presidency in 2016.
You know,
but then
it's like she's sitting there just clicking her heels going, click, click, click. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Just hoping she's going to jump in the Wayback Machine.
Right.
Right? And I mean, it's like at this point, all you're doing is just like self-flagellation. Who do you think you're convincing anymore with this gaslighting? Who do you think believes anymore after 3.5 years in office that he really did get 81 million votes? Okay? Who really believes after all this time that he's really a Russian asset?
Right.
Who really believes after all this time? Okay, nobody is buying any of the shit you're selling anymore, lady. Nobody's buying it. I can't imagine what the ratings are on her show.
Oh, my God.
They've got to
So
be
bad.
really low. I mean, soon I'm probably going to be able to get better ratings.
under his leadership, the Republican Party lost the House. The Republican Party lost the Senate.
Not this
time. The Republican Party lost the White House when he, as president, really was voted out of office resoundingly after just one term.
Yes, he was voted
leaving
out.
the country
Make sure
in the
you
grips of a crippling
understand that.
COVID pandemic, which would go on to kill more than 1 million Americans, mitigated only by the advent of effective vaccines, which he mostly now denigrates and disavows.
Wow.
He also left the country with his Supreme Court, onto which he installed 3 new hardline, ultra-conservative justices. Who, true to his promise, soon overturned Roe versus Wade, throwing women's rights in this country into a very, very fast reverse
No more
gear,
right to kill your
ushering
baby.
in draconian abortion bans
Draconian.
in Republican-controlled states across the country, leading quickly
It's
thereafter
time for Draco
to
to come now.
Republican-led efforts to ban in
I'm
vitro
Draco.
fertilization, to even ban and restrict birth control, leading Republicans in Washington and in the most
want to
influential
impregnate you
conservative
women.
advocacy groups
Where are
to
you
start their
women?
plans for a national abortion ban, for birth control
You will carry my
restrictions,
baby.
for even things like a ban on pornography, a ban on no-fault divorce. It is a wild record on which to try to build a return to power.
Wow.
But here we are. They are nominating a felon. One who left office in a storm of violence that, among other things, injured dozens of police officers. Violence for which hundreds of his supporters have pled guilty or been convicted of serious crimes.
He's a
We
criminal.
put criminals where they belong, in jail.
Cops are good, criminals
look
are
at the
bad.
split
Donald
screen.
Trump stands with the people and the police, our men and women in blue, not with the criminals and the rioters.
It has made for a very awkward Republican National Convention because
No.
he literally does
No.
stand with the rioters.
No.
Maybe awkward
apparently,
for us.
maybe
That he will
maybe if
spring
you would
them off.
actually go to the convention, be there, then you might see that that's not true at all. That's not true at all. There was no awkwardness going on at the Republican National Convention. You're just weaving shit out of whole cloth.
From prison, calling them martyrs and political prisoners, saying they've just been unjustly persecuted and they did nothing wrong.
FBI setup.
After this is how he left office, after a ransacked Capitol was left in the
look
wake
at all the
of the mob of
ransacking.
his supporters that he sent to Congress to try to physically use force to keep him in power.
I'd say there's even a little pillaging going on.
It did
there.
not seem at the time like it would ever be an open question as to whether America would try to see this as good.
Oh, God.
I think that was a great try, and we're sure glad they did that. And boy, we wish these people had done more of it, that they'd gotten their way.
What a
These
bitch.
people tasering and bear spraying police officers
Yep, they shot
and
first.
smashing their
Right
way,
into the crowd to
literally
stir 'em up
smashing
like
their
hornets.
way onto the floor of Congress and rifling through senators' desks and taking what they wanted and ransacking the speaker's office.
No, it's just
It did
interesting.
not seem at the time
I laugh
like
at
we
them.
had
I
any
laugh
lack
at
of clarity as a country as to whether or not it would be a good thing or a bad thing for our country if this guy,
this
with the
guy.
paramilitary gear and the zip ties,
Yeah. I bet
To
you
tie
that was a
people
law
up.
enforcement officer.
It
I
did
bet
not
you
seem like we had
money
any
that was
lack
an
of
undercover
clarity.
cop.
and considering whether it would be a good thing if this guy had gotten his hands on the members of Congress he was hunting for. And what was he going to do with those zip ties? And what if it had been the vice president?
I'm sorry, what's the date today?
But that's where we are.
19th.
2024?
Tonight, with the Republican Party almost
Oh,
by
okay.
acclamation nominating the man who used
Not
that
2020?
violence to try to stay in power,
Oh.
nominating him to once
see.
again become president. Only this time, they have picked him a running mate who says that you wouldn't have had to threaten to hang him to try to get him to go along with the coup. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance was picked for the job after he said publicly on television that had he been the vice president when this happened, he would have done it. He would have got along with it. He would have thrown out the results
I
of
hate
the
these
election.
people so much.
And so it's only been 3.5 years and 88 felony counts against Donald Trump since then. But the Republican Party
88
is
felon.
back offering more of this, please.
34.
This is RNC, this Republican National Convention, saw one of Trump's former advisors take a plane to the convention direct from prison. Unlike many
And it
other
was
Trump
awesome.
advisors, he was
Prison.
not in jail on fraud or corruption charges. He was in jail after he took credit for helping to conceive of and to try to implement the plan to stop the certification of the election results, to pressure Vice President Mike Pence to rejecting the
That's not why
election
he
results
went to
from states
jail.
Trump lost. Peter Navarro
No.
took credit for conceiving
No,
and trying
he
to
just
implement that plan, and then he
refused
refused a subpoena to testify about
testify.
it. And so that's
Just
why
like Merrick
he had to
Garland.
come to the RNC from prison, whereupon he received the largest hero's welcome
Diddy.
that any of the speakers or guests
That's
have
right.
received.
You turned him
on
into a
any of the
martyr,
nights
you
of the
dumb
convention
bitch.
this week. But he was just one of the figures who faced criminal charges related to the coup, who was celebrated at the convention this week. The fake Trump electors from Nevada. They recently,
here we go with the
had
fake
the charges
electors.
against them dropped on jurisdictional technical grounds. Several
the
of them are
charges,
delegates to the Republican
imagine that.
convention.
It seems like this whole lawfare thing is falling apart on them. But of course, it must be because there was a rogue Trump-appointed judge that threw it out.
Of course.
Of course. In a shock ruling.
Along with the fake electors from Michigan. They are under criminal indictment. Several of them are delegates to this convention. So are some of the fake electors from Arizona. They are under criminal felony indictment. They are also now delegates to this Republican National Convention. In fact, all 7 states that participated in the fake elector scheme as part of the coup
Yeah,
to try
Jeff,
to
she
keep
is
Trump
doing
in
what
power
they
after he was
accused
voted
Alex
out,
Jones of.
all 7 states. Republican parties in all 7 of those states have sent
I don't
at least
know why
one
we're
of their fake
talking about
electors
any of
to be
this
delegate at this Republican
if
National Convention.
He's slated to win in a
And that
landslide.
is just
Well, it makes
the
him look so
flavor of it.
petty after.
Two
I mean,
of the
like,
former
I don't think
president's
anyone's
other
mentioned
advisors,
Biden's
whom he
name during
pardoned
this
after they were
whole
convicted
No.
of criminal
convention.
crimes
You
and
know what I
sentenced
mean?
to
It's
prison.
all
Two of
positive.
them, you see them here.
And she's just
Spotted
like,
this
"Meh."
week on the RNC
But
floor
that's
in
what they
Milwaukee,
are.
mobbed by fans,
They're
greeting one
dried up, washed up,
And
bitchy,
we
old
have been
Waginas,
slowly
crusty.
boiling in this water. We have been slowly boiling in this reality for long enough that it is possible to lose sight of just how radical this moment actually is.
Oh my God.
But Republicans really are going to nominate a felon who tried to overthrow the U.S. government by force.
He's a felon.
Despite all the people who have gone to prison for it, they have decided that force was justified. And that they in no way, shape, or form are suggesting that they won't do it again. Right?
We won't have to do it again. We're going to win.
I mean, the Republican Party is this
unless you
time
steal it
planning
again
overtly in advance that there is not going to be a normal certification of the election this year. They have laid the groundwork already and are implementing efforts already to have Republican county and state officials refuse to certify election results from the get-go.
What are they talking about?
Why would they do that? The consequence of that is that there will not be state certified election results.
So you're saying that we're going to steal the election. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. That makes total sense. Yeah.
Sitting there tidily in a box, ready to be opened and counted ceremonially on January 6th. There won't be state-certified election results. So there can't be just a count of which states were won by each candidate, which is how we're supposed to elect presidents in this country. As the New York Times put it recently, quote, the strategy involves
This
an
sounds like a
ambitious
threat
and
to
legally
democracy.
dubious attempt to reimagine
Don't you
decades
think?
of settled
Yeah.
law dictating how results are
I'm
officially
picking up
certified
I'm picking
in
up
the
a
weeks
theme
before the
here.
Are they
votes
still
are
talking about January 6th?
No, now they're talking about electors, fake electors,
Here's where we
and
are.
changing the
First
way.
time the Republican Party chose Donald Trump as their nominee for president. He won the presidential election.
Mm-hmm.
His presidency is viewed by historians as the worst presidency in the history of the United States.
Yes, I know.
He was impeached twice.
Twice.
The second time they chose him as their party's nominee for president, he lost the general election. And it ended in a violent, failed effort to retain power by force. Now they are choosing him again, with whatever you call the opposite of regret for how it worked out the last time. And with an all but explicit promise to do it again.
I think that next time, if we're planning on taking over the country, we should bring sandwiches and
Next
weapons.
round starts tonight.
That's a good idea.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be
I
sure
definitely
to join
think
me.
sandwiches next time. I mean, if you're going to extended stay there, we were underprepared to take over the country. I think that's really what happened.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody was trying to take over the country, you stupid bitch. We were there to protest a sham election. Everyone now knows it was a sham, except the people that listen to this drivel. Right? Would drivel be a good word? But so what did you think of that cackle fest? Oh my God. And I honestly don't even know what the joke was.
I don't either. But I don't know what they were laughing at.
So, okay, so let's pop over here for a minute and let's take a look at these three rays of sunshine, my love, over at Morning Joe.
Oh, God.
This is unfortunately not this morning's. I wish I would have it, but I don't have a TV subscription because I can't afford one. And so we just have to just pick up the shit recorded later, right, in little snippets. But let's watch yesterday's Morning Joe and just see how things are going over there.
Who before had been sort of the hero of fundraising, who had raised all of this money for Joe Biden, just telling the president, the spigots run dry. Donors are not giving money anymore, Mr. President. We can't get donors to give money. You then hear about not infighting inside the Biden campaign, but just a sadness, an understanding that they cannot win with a man that they respect and love. And they're basically waiting for orders. Who are they going to help beat Donald Trump? And so all of that.
See, so I guess really the president really isn't in charge. The donors are.
Along with so much more.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, we learned that the President of the United States has tested positive for COVID, which felt like a coda to the day you just laid out, where Democrats just went, well, how much more of this can we take? And I think what we saw yesterday is everything we've been hearing in private, not just, frankly, for the last 3 weeks, but for a long time, spilled out publicly, which is that the polling now shows, private polling and now public polling that we're seeing, internal polling and public polling, that this is an uphill climb, not just for the president, but for everybody down the ballot. And that's why you heard
an understatement
Adam
of the
Schiff, who's
year,
very likely to be a
uphill
senator
climb.
from the state of California coming up here in just a few months, starting the day with a public statement saying that Joe Biden should step aside, that he's
Pretty
going
much
to take
it's
down
like
with him others.
The cliffs at Normandy is pretty much the hill they have to climb.
And then this sort of the dam broke, and we heard the reports of Chuck Schumer, as you said, and Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries.
Yep.
And it went
Chuck
on like
Schumer's
this
joined
all
the
day,
ranks.
saying, we've lowered the
Calling
data.
for
Yes, we've seen
him
the
to step
national
down.
polls, but the election is not a national referendum.
Look
We're
at
looking
Schiff.
now at our district
He looks
polls.
so happy.
We're looking at state polls, including one this morning from Emerson that shows Donald Trump now leading in the state of Virginia by 3 points. In Virginia. So that's a snapshot of where this race is right
you
now,
watch-
and that's why
Yeah,
you're hearing
right.
more vocally
COVID. No, he's the only
Democrats saying
person who gets
it
COVID
is
in July
time
2024.
to get out, and I
It's
wonder,
bullshit.
Mike Barnicle, what you think about the president's state of mind right now. Obviously, we saw him after the COVID diagnosis, looking frail, getting onto Air Force
Let's listen
One
to
last
some
night.
wisdom from the Barnacle.
He respects Nancy Pelosi. He respects Chuck Schumer. We know that. What will this weekend of isolation at home in Delaware be like for Biden and his family?
Look at this.
I think it'll be a reflective weekend.
how long it takes him
for
to get out of the
family,
car.
taking a look at the reality of the landscape.
This is like getting your
And I think
grandpa
the
out
sadness
to
of it
take him
will
to
finally
the
penetrate
afternoon
the
early
entire
bird
Biden
special
family.
buffet.
And the sadness of it, by sadness,
This is what it looks
I
like
mean,
at the buffet.
when you
A whole
have
parade
elected
of cars.
officials, many of them unnamed.
So did Xi
in these
Jinping have a
newspaper
stroke?
Stories about
I don't
Democrats
know. I haven't heard anything
indicating that
about
they
it.
don't want Joe Biden to be on the ballot this fall, running for re-election as president.
Look at
The
this.
sadness
Look at
of it
this.
is you keep hearing the word that they're bitter.
The guy at the
They
bottom
are
of the
bitter.
stairs is like, is he
And
going to
the
make
idea
it?
That Joseph R. Biden, who is a magnetic personality with people, loves to grab people, slap them on the shoulder, how are you, buddy, how you been, that he would be referred to as bitter is really something.
Yes,
It's really
bitter.
something. And
He's an
that,
angry,
Jonathan,
bitchy
is,
old
I think,
man.
epidemic now within the House.
And now we know
candidates
what he
and
really
some of the
was
Senate
like.
candidates.
Yeah, we're seeing another real push by Democrats to try to adjust the top of the ticket. That every time the Biden campaign since the debate,
This is
has
gonna
been out
get
there. They've been
crazy,
trying
guys.
To fend this off, he's done a number of interviews. He's done a number of campaign events. Some of which were
We're-
very
this
well received.
weekend. I mean, it's like,
you know,
here
he
we're
has
going
been
into
out there
another
publicly
weekend. Are we going to
saying,
have
"I'm
news
saying
breaking
this,
over the
stop
weekend?
it."
Probably will. Probably
The questions
will.
have only grown. The Biden team's efforts to push this aside simply haven't worked. And as Joe just ran through, yesterday felt like a really significant day. And we should note, the Schumer meeting was over the weekend. Pelosi was several days ago. Jeffries was several days ago. But what was not coincidental is they all leaked yesterday.
Yes.
And I think that there is a sense that this is the time. The Democrats see this as their final moment. As
Yep.
a contrast to what we're seeing at the RNC, where, like it or not, the Republicans are totally unified around Donald Trump.
Yes, they
They've
are.
embraced his running mate. We're going to hear from Trump tonight. There's confidence there. And they're also expected to put up a record fundraising total in the wake of the assassination attempt. You contrast that with the Democrats, their own fundraising drying up, and this sense of doom that's permeated the party. And maybe that's not fair to President Biden. But that's where the party is right now. And it does feel like as the president now heads home to Rehoboth, off the campaign trail, and
Oh,
what will be a
Hulk Hogan
crucial
was
moment to
amazing.
provide counter-programming to the
Amazing.
RNC, that if this is going to happen, it's going to happen in this
So
next
campy.
direction. Again, publicly, the president's saying he's staying on. We'll have to see if that changes.
Yeah, and Joe and Mika, Joe, you pointed to this AP poll. The argument from the campaign has been it's elites, it's the media trying to push Joe Biden out. What
Listen to
we've
this.
said all along over the last 3 weeks is that's just not the case. All you have to do is go to the grocery store or go to the dry cleaner or the gas station. It's what people are talking about his age after that.
Yeah,
And
yeah, exactly. It's like just walk into a gas station and go, so, did you see that debate? Right? Everybody knows he's a vegetable, okay?
A what?
A vegetable.
Yeah.
A vegetable. Right? Like, you ever cook broccoli too much?
Yeah.
And it just, like, just disintegrates?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like real mushy. Yeah. He's like overdone broccoli.
Frankly, there were a lot of people rooting for Joe Biden in these last 3 weeks, waiting for these interviews, watching the performances, and clearly not assured when you see that 65% of Democrats, not just Americans, of Democrats believe it's time for him to step out of the race.
Right. And you can look at all the polls. Listen, here's the deal. There's 110 days left. We've said this time and time again. We've seen polls. Anybody that remembers 1980 remembers that on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before the election, the race was too close to call. And suddenly there was a massive break toward Ronald Reagan the final weekend. Reagan wins a massive landslide in 1980 over Jimmy Carter. You can go to 1988. There's Michael Dukakis. He's up by 15, 16, 17 points in the summer. George H.W. Bush mocked, ridiculed. This race is over. Democrats were saying completely confident George H.W. Bush wins in a landslide. We remember here in 2016 being mocked and ridiculed for even saying in late October, early November, that Donald Trump had a pathway to 270 electoral votes. Everybody likes to say, oh, we knew he's... No, they didn't. Nobody was saying it.
So what are you saying? Joe Biden has a path?
Were being mocked and ridiculed. That was in 2016. So, yes, a week in politics. I think Macmillan may have said it, maybe Harold Wilson. One of those British prime ministers from the 1960s said it, that in politics, a week is a lifetime. And you got 110 days. So many things can happen. So many things will happen.
Yeah.
That said,
but
show me any candidate from any year running for any position
anywhere
where he
ever
gets to the general election and 2/3 of his own party do not want him to run.
2/3 of your own party.
I don't care if it's Joe Biden in 2024, if it's Joe Scarborough in like 1996, if it's a mayor running in 2014.
Oh, I know.
That candidate is going to lose.
He
Those
either
are
was
numbers you
lying
just
then or
can't
a rhino
get
or
past
he
me.
just
Given
lost
what
his
you
mind.
just said, Joe,
He used
this
to
goes
like
back to
Trump.
the point that you made a week ago, perhaps more, and that the Dems need to get it together. They really need to get whatever they've got going. Whatever it is, the problem should not be our
Whatever you
candidate.
got,
the
man.
focus should
Whip
be
it out
on
now.
Donald Trump. You know, it may or may not be Joe Biden. I trust Joe Biden's abilities.
You're an
also
idiot.
trust Nancy Pelosi's political acumen. Nobody knows politics more than her.
Acumen?
And nobody.
Acumen?
Nancy
It's
Pelosi,
acumen, you
she
dumb
does not
bitch.
get out there without
Sorry.
information to back it
I'm
up.
sorry,
She
she's
doesn't
just
take
such a
risks,
vile
and she
creature.
knows her politics. She knows her numbers.
She doesn't lose votes. You remember whenever Nancy Pelosi...
I just find these people to be pseudo-intellectuals.
When
Right?
Nancy was speaker, we'd say, well, if she puts it on the floor, it's going to pass because she knows where the votes
They're
are better
just,
than anybody I've ever seen.
If there is a change,
Propagandists.
It's got to be a change that gets Barack Obama behind the candidate, Michelle Obama behind the candidate,
All right,
George
are we
W.
bored with
Bush
this?
behind the
We're
candidate.
bored with this shit.
Former president.
I'm
Yeah,
bored with
there's
listening to that
go to the
whining.
bookmarks. There's like
Yeah,
a
I'm going to
lot
go
of
to the
stuff.
bookmarks. Screw these people. All right, so let's go do the bookmarks.
Don't want to give them any credit.
All right. Oh, is this also? Oh no, this is the same thing. Look at
So
this.
good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
They're not
First of
there.
all, and you're actually here live.
No.
Oh,
They're there.
oh, they're calling it out.
Some
Yeah.
other networks that just have a big
Yeah, because I thought so because Savannah was chasing around all the CNN people.
Yeah, right.
Remember?
Yeah,
After asking them why they covered up Biden's incompetency,
Yeah.
she dogged them for like a good half a mile or 3/4 of a mile walking back to their hotel. It was pretty sweet. And then this crazy shit. The senators, man, are chasing around the Secret Service director who is hanging around at the RNC. Like what? Why? What are you making sure that security's all tip top in shape? It's like at this point you shouldn't be showing your face anywhere except to explain what the hell happened and what went wrong.
Right.
Yeah, Monday is going to be real interesting, kids. Really interesting. All right, let's see that a little better. So yeah, let's listen to him call out MSNBC.
big LED. Who shall remain nameless? So, so good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
First of all,
And you're actually here live.
We are here
We're
live,
live. Just wanted to point
as
that out.
opposed to some other networks that just have a big LED. Who shall remain nameless? So, you've spoken with President Trump.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious, right? I had 2 books of Stephen King in my car, and someone broke in and left 4 more. No!
We're up here in Maine. We get to make fun of him.
The horror.
The horror.
You know, I was shocked, man. One time I went through a list of all the books that I had read of his, and I read like something like, I don't know, 60 or 70. I mean, like a lot of books. I was shocked to find out how many I'd read. But I stopped reading him like years ago because he turned into a tool. Okay, just like I cannot watch a Robert De Niro movie.
Yeah, right.
I won't. I will go to my death before I ever watch a Robert De Niro, that no talent asshat, whose job it is just to say words adequately. And I kind of liked him before as an actor. I mean, he was pretty iconic as a kind of character.
Yeah.
And then these stupid people lose their effing minds, and then they
Think
just
that they
shit
have
all over their own
something.
legacy, and they think they're so damn smart.
Right.
And they turn into flaming assholes, like Alec Baldwin. Same thing, you know, just lost his freaking ever-loving mind. And although I'm happy justice was, I guess, the system worked in the case. Although I still think he should be in jail. But anyway, yeah. So, but my favorite series, if you do ever read any Stephen King, I would suggest reading the Dark Tower series. Because that's what this Truth Slinger came from.
Yep.
Is the character, the gunslinger, and just to give you a rough idea, is that he is a Western cowboy, an older, aging figure, who's wandering through this alternate world, and it's kind of parallel to our world. And he came from a group of knights, like the Knights of the Round Table, but instead of knights with swords. Okay, they're all gunslingers.
Oh,
see, but the world it has moved on.
Right.
When you start to read the series, that's where we find ourselves, and they keep uttering that refrain that the world has moved on, and I very much sensed that for the longest time, which is why I identified with the character. That before all this crazy positivism that's happening in the past, galvanized since the assassination attempt last week.
Right.
I felt very much like a relic, okay? Because honor has died, right? Civility, common civility has died. There just aren't very many gunslingers anymore.
Right.
And that's a sad thing, because when the world was right, there was order.
Yeah.
And light and beauty, and now it's just a dried up husk. It's like
Gotham City.
It's like it's like rotting, and so there was that feeling that the world had moved on and kind of left me behind.
Right.
Because I still open doors for women. I mean, and anymore, it's like. Somebody will get offended if you do that shit because what kind of doing the patriarchy,
Right.
And so, but there's a resurgence, there's a revival happening here, and I think it's just really, really, really exciting. So this is too cool. This post here that this was the actual uniform from the fire department.
It has his name on it.
Oh, so it is what?
It's his uniform.
Okay. Wow. So so somebody made fun of this, I guess, apparently, but it is the actual.
Yeah, Harry Sisson, fucking soy boy guy.
Oh God.
Said that they spelled his name wrong, but that's that was his uniform.
It's his actual jacket.
Yep, and it probably only had enough room for so many letters.
This, yeah, probably so. It looks like it's all the way across the back there. This is very iconic picture here. This is the same thing that I remember when he hugged the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. That those kind of moments. That's genuine, 100% Trump. So, and Harry Sisson's an asshat. Yeah, totally. Okay. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is the last 3.5 years of this administration. Okay. We have this admiral down here.
Rachel Levine.
Oh my God.
With Raggedy Ann.
I mean, they made a total mockery.
Yep.
Of the executive branch, the White House, all of it. I mean, here we got a guy with fake tits exposing himself on the lawn of the White House. This was last year. Remember that? Well, and then this fruitcake who's a kleptomaniac going around and stealing. He stole the wrong damn suitcase, I'll tell you. Of that lady who was a designer or whatever, stole all her first creations or whatever. And then the idiot, these unique, one-of-a-kind pieces, he starts wearing out in public.
And she's like...
An idiot. What an idiot. Okay? And I just still don't get the whole facial hair and lipstick thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something wrong with these people mentally. But this is who we've got in charge, man. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Isn't that great? Right? Now, if you didn't see Dana White's speech, man, it was fantastic. Let's just watch a little bit of it because it was great. Rousing stuff.
Love him.
Love Dana White.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dana White. I am the CEO and president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. So 2 weeks ago, I got a call from President Trump asking me if I'd be willing to speak tonight. As usual, there was no pressure, no demands. He asked me as a friend, and of course I said yes. Then, after I accepted his offer, he sent me a text message, and I just want to read to you a little piece of what President Trump wrote to me. Dana, I'm so honored that you will be doing the introduction at the National Republican Convention. Think of it as the biggest fight you ever had, a fight for our country and even the world. I only wish you didn't have to interrupt your family trip, but I hope they understand, they love you, and they know how important this is.
Wow.
Now think about this. This man's running for president of the United States. He's fighting for the future of this country, and he's concerned about interrupting my family trip.
Yep.
That's the President Trump that I know.
Yes.
A man who truly cares about people.
Yes. Yes.
The mainstream media likes to push the narrative that he doesn't care about anyone but himself. I absolutely know that's not the truth because I've been friends with this guy for 25 years.
They did a great job humanizing him.
They'll know this is true. I just want to make something very clear. Nobody in the Trump campaign has ever told me what to say. Nobody tells me what to say, and I'm nobody's puppet.
Nice. Sweet.
And I'm not telling you what to think. I'm telling you what I know. And I know President Trump. I know President Trump is a fighter. I've been saying this since 2015. Now look at what's happened over the last 10 years. We have all seen it with our own eyes. I'm in the tough guy business, and this man is the toughest, most resilient human being that I've ever met in my life.
Yes. Yes.
The higher the stakes, the harder he fights, and this guy never, ever gives up. So what's at stake here? The answer is in President Trump's text, and I quote, "A fight for our country." I know why he's running for president again. Why else would he put himself through everything he's dealt with just to get back here?
Yep.
We all know he doesn't need this. This guy's got a great life. He has a beautiful family, and he has achieved everything that you could possibly achieve in life.
Why does he need this headache?
President Trump is literally putting his life on the line for something bigger than himself, and he's willing to risk it all because he loves this country.
Yes. Yes. He was the perfect guy to go before Trump.
And I know he wants what's best for the American people, all American people. I know he's running for president to save our American dream. I'm living the American dream, and I know the American dream is very real. Whether you were born in this country or came here from someplace else, this is the last real land of opportunity.
Yep. Man, he did a great job articulating this message.
First duty is to protect the people, not run their lives. And if you're buried in government red tape, how will you ever start your own business? If you're struggling to pay your bills, how can you ever afford to start a family?
This is the fight of our lives,
if you don't
Denise.
feel safe in your own town, why would you ever buy a house? I know that President Trump is fighting to save the American dream, and that's what's at stake in this election.
Mm-hmm. This is a completely retooled party.
We want to lead us in this
It is.
fight.
It's amazing.
I know President Trump is a proven leader, a fearless leader, and this country was in a much better place when he was in the Oval Office.
That's for sure.
The Never Trumpers are done.
In my
Done
mind,
like a biscuit, man.
the choice is clear. But this election, we all get to choose. I know I'm going to choose strength and security. I know I'm going to choose opportunity and prosperity. I know I'm going to choose real American leadership and a real American badass. And I'm not telling you what choice to make, and I'm not telling you what to think. I'm telling you what I know. I know America needs a strong leader, and the world needs a strong America.
Nice.
I know Donald J. Trump is the best choice for President of the United States. My fellow Americans, it is my honor to introduce the 45th and soon-to-be 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Yes. Yeah, that was one hell of an intro. Well, hi, baby. How are you? That was awesome, man. That was absolutely awesome. Hi, sweetheart.
She comes to visit whenever she wakes up. It's so sweet.
And see, she's real mild.
See, her ears are back.
Mild, yeah.
She's a good girl.
Hi. She's a good girl. Yeah. So Frank Luntz, we were talking about our favorite pollster, Frank Luntz. He said something, a couple of things down here. He said, Frank Luntz said, this is the GOP convention like no other, full of cheer and optimism for the future. He gets it, man. He sees what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
He sees what's going on. State of Texas, great state of Texas. Yeah, that was also another one I think that you had of his where he was when Kid Rock was on stage, off from the side, saying the same thing. Now this is beautiful right here. Frank Luntz put this out, and I'll have to say I hadn't cared for him over the years, but at least he's got he's got his eyes open. He sees what's going on, and he's telling it like it is.
Yeah.
And I respect that. I respect that, man. We can all change, right? We can all change. So, but check this ad out. Frank says this Trump ad created by Real Power Tie just might be the best ad of the 2024 campaign cycle. Right now, it's only running on Twitter, but maybe it'll make the jump to national TV. Check this out.
If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. You must keep pushing forward. If I give you
Very
one
cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. My cockles are all warm. I'm sorry. Okay.
Didn't need to know that.
All right. So check this out. This is the live close that I missed it last night, but I heard it this morning, and I love this particular piece of opera. I'm not a big opera fan, but I think everybody's heard this piece of music before. But this was live, man, last night. That's how this is the way they wrapped up the RNC. It's an American coronation. It is. That was weird and badass. Okay?
Yeah, it was.
Very powerful. Very powerful. Very, 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 very beautiful. Yeah, it is Trump's favorite aria. Yep. Yeah, so the display of Americana last night was just fantastic. Like I said, I think they did a great job humanizing Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And it was great, man. If he had his grandkids over on his lap and shit, sitting on his knee, and oh my God. I mean, you can't. When you see somebody that they have a family and they're also
Humanized.
cute and well mannered and they look like they just adore Grandpa.
Yeah.
How can that not work, right? So brilliant messaging, right? Okay, God, I love Laura Loomer, but man, super Jewy, guys. This is the definition of super Jewy, right here. Nothing wrong with that, but just, very jappy. Check it out. Yeah!
Kid Rock.
Badass, man. Wow. And just to think that this was all powered and fueled by an assassin's bullet that God turned for good.
Yep.
What? What's going on right now? I mean, are you getting it? Are you getting what the hell is going on? It's just, it's so big. Like the more that we just keep going through this, it's just astonishing to me how God is moving, and to be able to see it and be a part of it and to feel it and to ride that energy right now is just crazy, man. And yes, Kid Rock is an American icon. This, like I said, Americana was on full display.
The only thing missing was the nudes.
Yeah. Oh God, man. If Ted Nugent would have been there, holy shit, man. The nude. I would have just fell over, OD'd, I think.
I need everybody to put a fist up in the air. Everybody, get a fist up.
See here the Metallica backbeat.
Yeah.
Follow me.
Dun, dun, dun,
Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say fight, fight. Say somebody scream.
Did he say fuck Biden?
I don't know.
I think he did.
Is that what you were saying?
In the beginning, I think.
Davis, you ready for President Trump to take the stage? I need everybody to stand up. I need everybody to put a fist up in the air. Everybody, get a fist up in the air.
Love it.
Now follow me.
Yeah, badass as hell.
Bum, ba-da-dum.
But the music confused me.
Fight.
Which song is that?
Hey, hey.
Sad but true. Sad but true. That's a good tune. I really like that one. What is Charlie Kirk posted here? Trump. We want. Oh, this was epic right here. This is classic Trump right here. This is. I like this. It's not a threat. It's a promise.
And the entire world, I tell you this, we want our hostages back, and they better be back before I assume office, or you will be paying a very big price.
Yep. The cheeseheads.
With our victory in November, the years of war, weakness, and chaos will be over. I don't have wars. I had no wars other than ISIS, which I defeated, but that was a war that was started. We had no wars. I could stop wars with a telephone call.
That's right.
And
Yep. I can stop wars with a telephone call. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just love my president. I just absolutely love my president.
So tonight, whether you've supported me in the past or not, I hope you will support me in the future, because I will bring back the American dream. That's what we're going to do. You don't even hear about the American dream anymore. With great humility, I am asking you to be excited about the future of our country. Be excited.
We needed
Be
this.
excited.
We need hope. Real hope and
So
change.
tonight,
right?
Whether you've supported me.
Now, I don't know if any of you saw Don Jr.'s daughter, Kai, apparently called her dad and said, "Daddy, I want to speak."
17 years old.
17 years old, and she's never given a speech in her life. Okay? And I don't know if you saw it, but she had grace and class and style and so bright, and gave this wonderful, wonderful speech. I mean, just beautiful. And I mean, it made everybody. I mean, God must have made Daddy proud and Grandpa proud, right? And it was a beautiful speech. And she told Grandpa he loved it. So this dried up vagina has a different take on Kai Trump's speech. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Whoopee Goldberg. Fucking what the Goldberg.
Not a real name.
Goldberg. I don't think so. What the hell was her original name? Anyway, mocked Trump's 17-year-old granddaughter's speech. She's going after a minor. Absolutely sick. And I agree. This is what Lives a TikTok thought. So let's watch. Let's make sure we got something to throw up into.
For me, I have a lot of faith in the American people. And I don't know very many men who want to be talked to the way that this man has been talking to men in his audience. I don't know any women, and I know his grandchild was up on the thing, and they're trying to humanize him and change your idea about who this guy is.
He is a
don't
human.
fall for that.
Trump, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about Trump.
He's not human. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't be deceived. He is the devil. He's Hitler.
Right.
He'll end democracy. See how that being turned down, the temperature's being turned down by the left? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yep. Man, Kai was just amazing. And yes, absolutely. If she has political aspirations, she'll do well.
Yeah.
She'll do well. And you know what? I'm waiting to hear from Barron.
Oh, I know.
I'm waiting to hear from that guy. I'm really waiting to hear his first, because he really hasn't had his, what do they call it, the bat mitzvah or whatever, his political bar mitzvah, bat
Right.
mitzvah.
Well, no, they had him stand up and he
Rites of
waved everybody.
passage. Yeah, he stood up and waved and stuff, but I'm curious to hear him speak.
Yeah, no.
Because all I ever see is these pictures of him next to like the Krasenstein twins. You ever see that one? They're like Krasenstein twins are like little people,
Yeah.
And so there's memes out there. But
That's
anyway,
funny.
but yeah, she did such a stellar job. And for this bitch, okay, to make light of a speech that she wanted to give about her grandfather, not because she wants him to be elected, but because she wanted to tell people what grandpa's really like. Okay, how he calls me and gives me shit about my golf game, and we screw with each other. I mean, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But this is what they're doing. They have nothing else to do but to continue the narrative that they've been going with the whole time, is that Trump is Hitler. And once you've committed to that, right, you have to. And unfortunately, these are the kind of people that are going to encourage another act of violence, right? Do you want to play this? Do you want me to play him talking about the bullet?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think so. It's not very long, is it?
9 minutes, 22
no,
seconds.
that's too long.
But we can play a little bit of it.
Okay.
If you want to.
Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday.
I still can't believe it. I mean, I still am having trouble processing this.
As you already know,
In
the
my head.
assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened, and you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly.
Just as he's telling this and delivering this speech, and yes, he's reading from a teleprompter. He wrote a speech. And he wrote this speech, not somebody else. I guarantee you, he wrote this speech.
Yeah.
Okay. Think about the performance of Joe Biden. Could he meet this moment right now?
Oh, no.
Could he do this?
He can't find his way onto the stage.
No.
Playing, and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage, and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily because I was discussing the great job my administration did on immigration at the southern border.
And by the way, I must interject. If you haven't been following the news, and if you're just joining us, and by the way, if you are, like, share, subscribe, bookmark this. If you like and bookmark, it gives us a 30x boost on viewership, and we're starting to get some good numbers. So please help us by doing that any way you can. And so yeah, make sure to do that. But this whole thing with the assassination, they knew that, and Tim Pool is reporting that they knew 3 hours in advance, and an hour before they saw him with a rangefinder in the secured area. What the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing with a rangefinder at a political event? And then on top of that, something like 10 minutes before he took the stage, 10 minutes before 6, they determined he was a threat.
Mm-hmm.
They upgraded him and said he's a threat. Now that's a technical term,
Right.
That means certain shit should happen.
Like he shouldn't be allowed to get on the stage.
Right. Why was he allowed to walk onto the stage? Why did Trump not know about the threat? Apparently, I guess not. This is. It's like I can't. A criminal doesn't even. There's, and this was an inside job.
I got a little bit of breaking news. Josh Hawley. Woo! Breaking news. Josh Hawley, senator from Missouri, says whistleblowers are telling me that most of Trump's security detail working the event on Saturday were not even Secret Service. DHS assigned unprepared and inexperienced personnel.
Coincidentally.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Such a comedy of errors. I don't suppose any of that could have been intentional.
Oh, of course not.
No. There's just no way you're going to convince me that this was not. This is not mere ineptitude. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. They tried to kill him. That's exactly what they tried to do. Yep. Hey, Prindraco's in the house. Good morning.
Hey.
Yeah, man. And you know, diversity hire, like I said, she's just the head of security for PepsiCo.
Yeah, what's that about?
A fizzy sweet water manufacturer.
Well, you got to protect it so it doesn't get poisoned.
I'm sure that there are a couple of executives that
yeah.
travel, and when you travel to, you know, a shitpot country where you're making your Coca-Cola that you're poisoning everybody with on a daily basis and making everybody obese and have diabetes and all that shit. When you're traveling to, you know, Mexico or something, you know, there's kidnappings and shit. So I can understand that but I mean, okay, that's different. You know, I mean, I'm quite sure that there's some danger there. But I'm quite sure she probably, I mean, I'd like to see what she was responsible for any great things at Pepsi. I mean, but we're never going to find that out. But, yeah, this Jill Biden situation is also interesting, Denise, because apparently that day, the Secret Service personnel, and I don't know, what are we like, thin-staffed? Are we like, you know, on Secret Service? I mean, what the hell? But they were apparently got moved all the way over to Jill Biden's, you know, event. Mm-hmm. Because, of course, you know, she's really, really, you know,
important.
Like, nobody, who the hell would kill Jill Biden? I mean, seriously. I mean, I just, you know, Yes. I know that there's some rough stuff that goes on, and so to a certain extent, it's possible. Okay, it's possible that their security detail was fairly decent, but so I make light of the fact they're a soda pop manufacturer. But who knows? I mean, what's this lady's background? Again, if any of these people got to where they got to because of diversity, equity, inclusion, therein lies the problem. And then they know that they got there just because of who the hell they are and whose genitals they decide to put in their mouth. Okay? And so then they know they're protected, especially in this environment. It is absolutely, absolutely infuriating that woman has not resigned immediately or been immediately fired. Okay?
Yeah.
The fact that she has her job after this epic failure and then this ridiculous excuse to say it was a sloped roof. And we now have memes of cows on tin roofs that were higher pitch.
Yeah.
And then also the snipers that were there on all the video that's out there already were clearly on a pitched roof. So, I mean, are they allowed to go on pitched roofs or just not that pitched roof?
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, this is just infuriating. And I just anyway, let's just go on. He should have never been on that damn stage. And somebody should literally pay by going to jail at minimum.
Yeah.
Okay. If not, that you're found out that you were part of a plot to assassinate the president of the United States, you should be hung by the neck, until thoroughly dead while we watch. We should have public, televised executions, because it's no good to just go, well, they got killed. No, I want to watch it. I'm serious.
I know.
If these bastards tried to kill the next president of the United States, my president, they should be hung. They should be. Of course, after a thorough investigation, and they've been allowed to defend themselves, and then found guilty, and then screw your appeals, march them up to the gallows, and take care of business. And because the reason it's there is to prevent this kind of shit from ever happening. But if there's no repercussions for this kind of shit happening, hell, you don't even lose your job,
Yeah, right.
let alone go to prison. Wow. And what amazes me is that Donald Trump has done nothing but say good things about the Secret Service or the people that tried, that put their life in harm's way. Even the women that did it ever so poorly.
Right.
They tried. They were there, running around in circles like chickens with their head cuts off, but they were there. They didn't run away, at least. One was cowering behind. I'll never forget that picture. God, how'd you like that to be your 15 minutes of fame? To be the agent that's cowering behind, the female agent cowering behind the president and the pile. So, but Donald Trump has been, he's avoided this issue of saying, how the fuck did this happen? And so I'm really, really curious. Yeah, treason is a crime. You better believe it is. We make treason great again, right? Make the punishment of treason great again. Like they used to do it.
Very proud of it. Behind me and to the right was a large screen that was displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing. In order to see the chart, I started to, like this, turn to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard on my right ear. I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place.
Oh, and I have to, now that I just remembered this, there's another piece of news that's come out about this shooting.
Oh?
Yeah, and that piece of news was that you know that they always say that the Secret Service, that it's this, if you know anything about it, they say it's this layered approach.
Right.
And the Secret Service is
perimeters.
Perimeters, right? They have the inner circle or the inner perimeter,
right?
Which is what Secret Service takes responsibility for. And then they have the outer perimeter, which they apparently, supposedly, seamlessly liaison with, which is full of shit. Which clearly they don't. But they said the Secret Service, I believe Kim Cheadle said that. That they were told that that local police was supposed to manage the security of that outside perimeter.
Right.
They were responsible for it.
But they were responsible to the Secret Service.
That's the way it should be, right? I mean, that's what makes that way you would think, right? Well, it turns out that the local police authorities say, what? No, we were never told to look over that building. We never told we were responsible for that. We were just told to handle traffic.
Oh my God.
We were like, parking cops, basically.
Right.
Park over here, move along.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's what so they're saying that's a bullshit story. Mm-hmm. So we got another lie coming from, so whatever they say so far, whatever they have said has been a lie.
Yep.
There's a cover-up going on. There's a huge cover-up going on. And I can't imagine how furiously this weekend she is weaving her story And I'm wondering if she's even going to show up. And if she doesn't frickin' show up,
They need to go arrest her.
okay, they need to fucking arrest her, hold her in contempt like immediately, that very second.
Yep.
Okay, we got to take the gloves off with these fucking people. Okay, we need to use every single tool in our power, and people need to start like literally going to damn jail. And I'm sorry, it's like I don't buy the argument that well you shouldn't retaliate me, and it's vindictive and all that bullshit. Fuck that. If you broke the law and you were trying to do bad things, including up into killing the president of the United States, there needs to be consequences for each and every one of them, all these bastards.
Yep.
And you can call it retribution or whatever. Okay, trying to make it sound as if, and it's like, think about it. It's like a bully coming up, kicking you in the nuts, and then going, hey, don't hit me. Don't perpetuate the violence.
Yeah, right.
You kick me in the nuts, you need to have your head taken off with my fist. Period. Right? Yeah, you can't expect people not to defend themselves. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, they've been using this lawfare, and it's not the same. They're trying to make this like a moral equivalency, and it's not. That shit, the 34 counts of bullshit, was a zombie case, resurrected, wasn't even a felony, and it was past the statute of limitations, and they turned it somehow into some like-in-kind contribution or something so that they could involve campaign finance law.
Which is federal. Anyway, yeah. I mean...
So the whole thing was just stupid as hell. So they made shit up, fabricated it out of whole cloth. How about E. Jean Carroll? How about that crazy whore?
Oh.
Okay? That bimbo who literally in court testified that she wasn't quite sure what year it happened even.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
That's crazy.
But yet she's to be believed and be awarded $300 million or some shit like that, $400 million like that. I mean, how about my favorite one? My favorite one that cost Donald Trump another $400 million. You know which one I'm talking about?
Alvin Bragg?
I believe it was Alvin Bragg, or was it Letitia James?
Letitia James. Yeah. The Trump business.
Yes, that C word.
Oh.
Okay, who ran on getting Trump?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll pull the video up for you. Okay.
They get away.
You ran for office
we can't
where you're supposed to be an arbiter of laws and shit, but you go, I want to get in office so I can get him? That fucking person? And they say this shit out loud?
Yeah.
Okay? So what did they find him guilty of there? Fraud. Really? How?
Changing business
why?
records. Falsifying business
No. That's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one where they said he inflated the value of his property. Mm-hmm. And therefore, because he lied about that, which is a bunch of horse shit anyway, because independent appraisers come in and go, this is what it's worth.
Right.
The bank sends in their own people. Right. And it's negotiated how much you get the loan. And he paid back every single cent of it. With interest on time. Okay? He was like a 5-star or gold star, or whatever the hell they call it, borrower.
Mm-hmm.
People loved his business. But somehow they said, no. I mean, there was no crime. Nobody got defrauded. Nobody lost out on money. Nobody got lied to. Nada, nothing, zip. Right. Oh, but yeah. So, and you know how they did that one? Summary judgment right off at the beginning. Remember that ridiculous judge, that crazy ass old bastard?
Yeah, is he the one that they found in the gym?
Yeah.
Project Veritas.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in the gym. I think he was showing off his aged old body there. These people are just sick mothers. They really are.
Mothers.
I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack. and in one movement proceeded to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to
Thanks for making the chat so active. We've hit 100 messages again today. Always nice to see a lively chat.
These are great people at great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side.
Yep. Quit playing with your nose, Laura.
Laura.
Super Jewy.
The
Laura Loomer.
amazing thing is that prior to the shot, if I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark, and I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. The most incredible aspect of what took place on that terrible evening in the fading sun was actually seen later. In almost all cases, as you probably know, and when even a single bullet is fired, just a single bullet, and we had many bullets that were being fired, crowds run for the exits or stampede, but not in this case. It's
No.
very unusual.
No. Amazing. That was amazing. The people just stuck. It was crazy.
This massive crowd of tens of thousands of people stood by and didn't move an inch. In fact, many of them bravely, but automatically stood up looking for where the sniper would be. They knew immediately it was
I think
the
Jeff
sniper.
was with us this morning, I think.
And then began pointing at him. You can see that if you look at the group behind me. That was just a small group compared to what was in front. Nobody ran, and by not stampeding,
yeah, if you're not
many
involved in the
lives were
chat,
saved.
you got to,
But that
you know,
isn't
sometimes
the
I've gone into
reason
streams and I've had trouble finding it as well. But if you
that they
click
didn't
on the
move.
stream
The reason
itself,
is that
the chat window should
They
pop
knew
up
I
on the
was in
right-hand
very
side.
serious trouble. They saw it. They saw me go down. They saw the blood and thought, actually, most did, that I was dead. They knew it was a shot to the head. They saw the blood. And there's an interesting statistic. The ears are the bloodiest part. If something happens with the ears, they bleed more than any other part of the body. For whatever reason, the doctors told me that. I said, why is there so much blood? He said, it's the ears. They bleed more. So we learned something, but they just...
That's so classic Trump, man.
We learned something.
They just
Learn
this
something new
beautiful
every day,
crowd,
you
They
know?
didn't want to leave me. They knew I was in trouble. They didn't want to leave me, and you can see that love written all over their faces. Incredible people. They're incredible people. Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were in very
Yeah, the head bleeds a lot.
dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Bullets were flying right over them, missing them by
Scalp
a very
wound is the same
small
way.
amount of inches. And then it all stopped. Our Secret Service sniper, from a much greater distance and with only one bullet used, took the assassin's life, took him out. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
I missed that.
Thank you.
Wow.
But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God.
I've been in a chat. I'm going to do it after. I'm going to go in somebody's live stream after and see if I can get into comment because I've done it.
In watching the reports over the last
same
few
operating
days,
system
many
as a
people
laptop, right?
Say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose, surrounded by Secret Service,
Providential.
the crowd
I love
was
that
confused
word.
because they thought I was dead, and there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over.
Let's talk about.
But I could see it. And I
Remind me to
wanted
talk
to do
about
something to let them know I was okay.
this hack.
I raised my right arm,
This internet
looked
problem.
at the thousands and thousands
Microsoft
of people
Windows
that were
problem.
breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight."
Fight, 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 fight.
Wow.
Look at this. This shit is crazy.
Once my clenched fist went up, and it was
This will be iconic 100 years from now, guys.
Yeah.
100 years from now. That chant, fight, fight, fight. I mean, every time I do it, it's like I well up. Every time I see it, I just get teary. And this is what's going to unify America.
Yep.
An assassin's bullet.
Yep.
Satan.
tie into the air. You've all seen that. The crowd realized I was okay and roared with pride for our country like no crowd I have ever heard before. Never heard anything like it.
We don't have any YouTube
For the rest
viewers
of my
this
life,
morning.
I will be grateful for the love shown by
I don't know
that
if we
giant
have viewers,
audience
but
of
we
patriots
don't have any chatters anymore.
that stood bravely on that fateful evening in Pennsylvania.
So wow, that was worth watching again. Total
Let me
grace.
begin
Total.
this
I thought it was. I thought it was great.
Yep.
I thought it was great. I thought the whole thing was great. Check this out. Here's Frank. This is the one I was talking about. Frank Luntz posted. He said, "This is officially a brand new Republican Party.
Yay!
Trump's the shit. This is simply wow. Hashtag GOP convention. Check this out.
Trump's the shit.
Trump's the shit.
Say Trump, Trump.
American badass.
Right. Yeah. No, he's just so iconic. I like a lot of what Kid Rock does. I do. All right, this is just Americana, man. This is
amazing.
This is so freaking badass right here. I mean, this is America.
He looks better now than he's
Yeah.
like pretty much ever looked. He looks really good.
America.
America.
This is America right here. Right here. Check this out. Check this out. Wrestling.
It's American.
It's an American thing.
Was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero?
There he goes.
And they tried to kill the next president of the United States. Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule
Trumpomania.
again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
Wow.
That was epic. That was awesome. That was off the chain. That was mic drop shit right there.
Yeah.
And that's America. Okay, we're back, baby. We are back. We are back with a vengeance.
Nothing
now,
can stop us.
thanks for that comment, man. Chris Walsh said, watched last night. My wife said, wow, this is some great preaching. No shit,
Oh,
man.
nice.
Thank you. I'm glad for that comment. Thank you so much. We appreciate, more people tuning in, man. We had a great numbers last night on the stream, and it was fun, man. I had a blast. Hey, I got a YouTube chatter now. Waz jumped over his YouTube.
Waz, thank you. He's so sweet.
So, you know what I want to watch? I want to watch.
Hillbilly Elegy?
No.
Yes.
No, not right now though.
No.
I do. But do you remember the prayer breakfast? The black gentleman who's the assistant attorney general, the guy who got famous because of the gun speech in front of the student council.
Oh, Mark Robinson.
Mark Robinson.
Yeah, he was lieutenant governor. He's running for governor.
Let me see. It must be in my history.
Why don't you play something else and I'll find it?
Okay. Well, yeah. Why don't you? If you hit play and then you should be able to pop it up to the top of the history.
Do you want it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think so. Well, I'm sure it's under my history. So, but yeah, I had fun last night, and thanks so much, people, for being patient, because we have fun in between the breaks, because I don't always want to listen to the pundits or whatever, and there's not much going on in between. So we're rocking out to some music last night. I always enjoy doing that.
YouTube hates us.
And yeah, YouTube hates us. They can kiss my ass. We were listening to the Kiffness last night. That was really cool.
All right, it's there.
Okay, so I should hit refresh.
Hi, baby. Hello. Oh, baby girl.
Yep, I guess so. Man, I should use my bar. Whoops, there we go. All right, guys. You want to talk about some preaching? Woo. Okay. Yeah, let's do a watch party for Hillbilly Elegy.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Let's do that. We'll figure out a way to get it, and we'll watch it together.
Yep.
But
Yay.
But wait a minute. This is this is him speaking at the Republican National Convention. That's not what I want.
Oh.
I want him speaking at the prayer breakfast.
Oh, okay. I just saw that. I picked the wrong one. Sorry.
I'm glad she's on the ball, and she can just look this shit up for me so quick.
What? You don't be mean.
No, I'm not being mean.
My computer's slow.
I was honest, sincere. Well,
now I can't. Stop. You're pressuring me. Stop.
La 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 la.
I'm getting there. Hang on.
Are you?
Well, I don't know.
That's what she said.
Okay, wait. Just stop. Stop.
That's what she said.
Oh my God. Well, I can't find it now.
Oh no.
What's wrong with the one that I gave you?
Because I want specifically the one from the prayer breakfast.
I found it. Faith and Freedom.
Thank God. Yes, there you go.
Wow. It's 18 minutes, so you're going to have to find it.
Listen, we need to watch at least a part of this because it was fire. And Denise is right. This was fire. If you haven't seen this, okay, this blew me away.
Saturday night, Denise, for the Hillbilly Elegy. Sounds good.
Yep.
Well, thank you all for being here this morning. Full disclosure, I came in a little late. I was at the gym this morning at 5 o'clock. 5:30, I was at the gym. Well, it was closer to 6, guys. Let's get it right. I was in the gym, and I had to get in a quick workout, and then I came over here. But I feel great, and I'm glad to be here. And as always, we give thanks to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving us our life, our health, and our strength, and allowing us to do what we do on a daily basis. And let's expand on that for a moment.
Let me. Again, give me the background on this guy.
Okay, Mark Robinson came on the scene probably about 5 or 6 years ago. He showed up at a town hall meeting,
right?
Telling the local people that they're not going to take his guns. He's a law-abiding citizen,
right?
So that's what propelled
pretty
him
much
virally.
Catapulted.
So then he
him,
ran for office and he won. He's been the lieutenant governor there for probably the past 3 or 4 years.
Lieutenant governor or is he attorney general?
No,
governor.
Lieutenant governor.
Lieutenant governor. Okay, yeah, okay.
And he's running for governor now.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice.
Yeah, everyone loves him.
Yeah. So do we know his background? I mean, what's before he I mean, I know he's known for that one thing, so just look up the background on him while I play him for a little bit. I'm just curious.
Let's expand on that. Why should we be giving thanks in this nation? Particularly the folks in this room, why should we be giving thanks to Jesus Christ? Because he's worthy of all honor.
Mm-hmm.
And because he has blessed us richly. You take a look around at what we have in this nation. The poorest of the poor have places they can go and still eat better than many people around the globe. Trouble abounds throughout our nation, and there are problems throughout our nation. But for every single solitary problem, there is a warrior out there fighting to correct those problems and bring justice and bring peace in every corner of our nation. There is no barren places in this country. There are no places in this country where wrongs go unrighted. There are no places in this country where injustice can hide and do its dirty work undercover, except maybe in some government offices and possibly. But there are no places in our public sector, in our public space, where wrongs are not righted, where justice doesn't flourish, and where good people don't stand to do what's right. So we should thank God for what we have, what he's built. And we should thank him for who we are. Let me say that again. We should thank him for who we are, because they commonly refer to us as the right. And they couldn't be more right in referring to us as the right, because we are right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're right on everything.
Yep.
All right, his name
Watch
is
the news media.
Mark Keith Robinson. He's the 35th Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. And he grew up in poverty with an abusive father, alcoholic father. He served in the military. When he got out, he worked as a janitor. His mother worked as a janitor, I'm sorry. Okay, he took history classes, and he ran a manufacturing company for furniture. That's about it.
So he was a businessman.
Yep.
I mean, that's what he did before he became famous and entered politics.
Yep.
Wow. This is yes, Chris, you're absolutely right. This is the new Republican Party.
Yep.
And what's great is the Republican Party has figured out how to put together a coalition. And you don't hear that word as much in American politics, really. Well, I mean, I guess you do, but in the other countries, like where there are parliamentary systems, they have to build coalition governments.
Mm-hmm.
And the Republican Party never seemed to be able to somehow weave together a coalition that functions, that is a broader tent. They've always tried to narrow this thing. And I think it's a mistake for the Republican Party to be far right. I mean, from the standpoint of, I don't think that, like, what killed the 2022 midterms? Remember what Lindsey Graham did?
Oh, God.
Push for a nationwide ban on abortion.
Yeah. He
Okay?
almost
That's what happened.
single-handedly ruined
Single-handedly
everything.
fucked up the whole midterm election and caused the red wave to turn into a red dribble.
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah. But you know what's interesting? Trump, his whole political life has been fairly moderate, fairly Democrat. I think he voted for a long time. And so some of his liberal, anyway.
He's not a true conservative. He's a
Right.
populist. And that's
Right.
what we've been talking about before, is that this is a rise of populism.
Right. So he's turned the whole tide of how the Republican Party thinks.
Yep. And it's become the party of the working man, the working class, which used to be the Democrats. I mean, matter of fact, the Teamsters.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Teamsters were there.
With the RNC.
Right. But what's interesting is that we're able to have this central, strong Christian, basically, backbone of the party, but yet he was able to weave together, and again, the assassin's bullet did, and God did, weave together this coalition of populism that is just going to be a historic landslide, never to be seen in probably modern American politics This is too big to rig on steroids, man. It is, and it's great to see. It's a new renaissance, right?
It's like you said it perfect. The news media, it's corrupt to the core. You turn on CNN, you turn on ABC, you turn on NBC. They all say the Republicans are wicked.
This guy
They're
should have been a
threat to
preacher.
democracy. They're bad. They're vile people. They're racist. What is so wrong about what we believe in? What is wrong with the concept that when a woman has a child in her womb, that life inside of her is life indeed and it's valuable? What is wrong with that concept? What is wrong with the concept that there are only two genders, male and female, created in the image of God? What is wrong with that concept? What is wrong with the concept that parents, not bureaucrats or anyone else, should be in charge of their children's destiny, whether it be educational or whatever way? What is wrong with that concept? What is wrong with saying that our home, the United States of America, is the greatest nation on earth? What is wrong with that concept? What is wrong with the concept of making sure that our border is secure and that those would harm us?
Common sense, absolutely right.
That they would answer for should they step up and try to take our freedom or harm us. What's wrong with that?
This guy is a powerful
See, there's a
speaker.
simple truth to the matter, and the truth to the matter is this.
He's got a lot of presence.
Some folk don't like to hear the truth.
I'm going to see if I can find something.
Hell, he would have made a good vice
Truth is in
presidential
short
pick.
supply. I just scared the dickens out of somebody.
He's said some anti-Semitic things.
Has he?
A little bit.
I'm going to be laughing about that for a while, y'all. Inside joke. Some folks don't want to hear the truth. They don't. And it's very sad. Because right now, that's what we need in this world. We need truth.
Amen.
We need people who are willing to stand up and tell the truth.
Amen.
You know, I say it as a joke sometimes, but I really mean it. Say being a hero of the faith, you know who I'd like to be more than anybody? I'd like to be that little boy in the story of the Emperor's New Clothes. For those of y'all that don't know the story, the emperor was supposed to get a whole new set of clothes, and this guy conned him and really didn't make him any clothes.
Original viral speech.
And did you? Showing the town his new clothes, he was simply walking through town in his underwear, in his beautiful new clothes. And the whole town went, "Oh, what
YouTube?
wonderful clothes, King." Except for one little kid who stepped down off the curb and said, "Hey, that man doesn't have any clothes on." He opened the eyes of all the people. In a world full of dishonesty, in a world full of sound bites that are twisted and taken out of context.
You do notice he's
in
not
a world
using
of
notes,
outright
right?
lies, it is time for us to
No,
be
a
like that small
teleprompter.
child. To step down off of the curb and say,
I don't
"Hey,
think he is.
that is not right." And we should do it with the strength
Or maybe he
of
is.
Jesus Christ at our backs. Christians in this nation,
Yeah, he's
for too
using it.
long
He's
have
very good
used
at it,
the
though.
Church as a country club, as a meeting
Yeah,
place,
listen to this part.
gathering to do business.
That's right.
As a meeting place to connect with friends.
Money
As a
changers.
meeting place to try
In
to
the
say
temple.
all the right things, to get all the right people to come in and put all the right dollars into the plate that's passed every Sunday.
That's right. Ooh, boy.
Church is not a place where we are supposed to be meeting for the purposes of making money
Nope.
or making friends
That's right.
or spreading our own message. The church is the place where we are supposed to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. And the gospel of Jesus Christ is the gospel of truth. And we need to start spreading it with courage. We need to start leading like Moses. We need to start standing like those 3 Hebrew boys. We need to start walking on to the battlefield with supreme confidence and courage.
Come on
like
now.
David.
Preach.
And we need to be willing to give our heads need be like John the Baptist when time comes, because we're new. We are doing it not for ourselves, but for God Almighty. I tell people all the time, the media can get as mad as they want at me. The left can get as mad as they want. Say what you want to say about me. Frown all you want, boo all you want, jeer all you want. But if God is smiling because of what has come out of my mouth, I am happy indeed.
Hallelujah. Woo. Hallelujah.
It's time for courage in this nation. Monday night, I called President Trump the braveheart of our time, and I mean it. You know, J.D. Vance quoted Pulp Fiction, which when he quoted Pulp Fiction, I was like, uh-oh, where's this going? I've seen that movie. Uh-oh. The quote I like from the movie is the movie Braveheart.
Yes,
when
me
William
too.
Wallace is imploring his men into battle, he said, you have come to fight as free men. What will you do with that freedom? Well, what will we do with our freedom in
Well,
America?
cosmic confusion.
What will we do? Will we feed our children pornography in schools?
I don't know. Christians are necessarily anti-Semitic by definition.
We cower and run in fear when lies are being told. And when we dishonor those who have fallen to us by forgetting that what we have in the freedom of this nation is a blood-bought sacrifice.
Yes.
Paid for with the tears of the patriots of this nation and their blood as well. Or will we stand on what's right? Are we ready to do what those who came before us did? Are we willing to do what the boys at Bunker Hill did, many of whom did not have shoes? Stand on that hill in defiance of the greatest army on earth. Are we willing to do that? Are we willing to stand like the men stood on Little Round Top at Gettysburg when they placed those bayonets on those rifles and charged down that hill and wiped those Confederates from that place to hold that place and win that battle? Are we willing to charge headlong into the fire like those boys on D-Day? Are we? Bullets smashing the front of those Higgins boats. They didn't run to the back. They didn't find a safe space. They charged headlong into an almost certain death. Why? Because they loved their families, they loved their God, and they loved their nation. And they knew that even if they failed, their death would not be in vain. But the only way their death will not be in vain is if every person in this room commits themselves with the same courage and intensity as they did. That's the only way. And the only way we do that is by spreading love, folks. Now, doesn't that sound odd? Doesn't that sound odd? You know, I tell people all the time, love comes in many
Got me a fresh one.
forms and all different kinds of ways.
Got a fresh one.
Most of us, when we think about love, we think about the love that we have for our spouse. And speaking of spouses, I just want to tell y'all something about my wife.
No, you're absolutely right, Todd, and thanks for joining us. Yes, it's a group of Semitic languages that includes Arabs and Jews. So it's a misnomer, really,
She has been
anti-Semitic.
through the fire, folks. We don't talk about it in public.
Very astute observation
They
and
came after
point.
me. They came after her as well. They sure did. And it hurts. It hurts to see those that you love attacked because of what you stand for. Moments of reflection sometime I
You're
think
absolutely
about
right, Chris.
the suffering that might come to possibly all of us because we stood up for what's right. Then I take a deep breath and
You know, actually, Martin Luther was accused of being a bit anti-Semitic. He didn't,
Really?
Yeah, he didn't like the
sleep with
Jews very much.
you know why? Because I
He was a bit of a replacement
Because I know.
kind of guy.
Like I heard
And
a
to
young
a certain
soldier
extent,
say
it is
once in
true.
the Iraq War,
Yes.
I mean, Christianity supersedes
praying with his troops.
Uh,
He said,
Judaism.
Lord, let us go into battle. and do
Wow,
our
that's
best.
hot. Ow.
May all of us come home safe today.
That's what she said.
But if we don't, please let our people back home know that it's okay.
God, I love this guy. He's broke up, man. We need this kind of authenticity.
I know it. And so it's okay. Temporary suffering for long-term results that will serve millions of people is worth it. It was worth it to Moses. It was worth it to those Hebrew boys. It was worth it to David. And it was worth it to John the Baptist. And it was certainly worth it to Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
But love is the key. Sometimes love looks like, you know, hugging your wife, giving her a kiss. Sometimes love looks like hugging your children and telling them they did a good job and you're proud of them. But guess what else love looks like? Love looks like a warrior standing on the wall ready to die for you. No greater love, the Bible says.
That's right.
Is there than that?
Man, lay down his life
Sometimes love looks like a soldier's casket draped in that American flag,
for his friends.
where he sacrificed himself to save others from suffering and to preserve their freedom. Love is the key, folks. Without love, all of this is useless. If we are
He's
doing
right.
this because we hate those who oppose us, we will get nothing.
That's right.
We will be useless.
That's right.
Not even to our friends. You ever notice that, how people who are driven by hate, they get nothing accomplished. They go nowhere. When we're driven by love, that's when we make a difference.
No, but this
No matter how
protected
angry
classes
sometimes
of
we may
people is
get, no matter how
ridiculous.
demonstrative
It's
we
destroying
may
our
be.
society.
When it's coming from a place of love, it yields the desired result.
Yep.
Now let me close.
We're just
by
a
telling you
clanging
a story
symbol
if I
if we're
can
not
get to it.
motivated by
I've never
love.
told
That's what
this
the Bible
story
tells us.
Right.
I want to tell you about the ultimate expression of love I ever received.
This is a neat story.
I was a small child living in Greensboro in a little house on Logan Street. My older brothers and sisters
That's why it's working
got
right
to
now.
go on what we call the Sunday school picnic. And the Sunday school picnic at our church had evolved from a simple picnic on the lawn to then a picnic at the lake. And then they started to take the kids and put them on a bus and ship them off down to Carowinds for a day. And I hadn't even been out of town at this point. The farthest I had been was the grocery store. And I desperately wanted to go to Carowinds with my older brothers and sisters. Well, my older brother and sister, because they were the only two that went. My brother Tony and I weren't old enough to go. We had
Oh, I'm
to
glad
stay
you're back,
behind.
Jeff.
We watched them walk off, and I was very sad and very heartbroken that I wasn't able to go. I dreamed about getting on that bus and riding that bus and seeing the things that I knew I would see.
Can you
Going
imagine
to that park I'd seen on the
how much
television.
he would have
Anyway,
heartbroken to not
my
be able to
mom,
go?
who didn't have a whole lot, she surprised us. She surprised us. She baked us a cake. She made us some food. She took this old tablecloth off the table. She spread it on that front porch. And for me and my brother, she had a picnic.
Simple story, right?
To me, is the ultimate expression of love. I never expressed to my mom that I was disappointed that I couldn't go. She simply knew. She simply knew.
Mm-hmm.
And she did the right thing.
Yep. Now listen here, folks.
Without love, this is nothing.
Pay attention.
It's nothing. Without love, our movement is nothing. If we don't express that love, we don't make that love plain and present, we are not doing right by the God that we say we serve. So I commit myself now, and I want you to commit yourself as well to making love your top priority. Love of your family, love of your wife, your children, your grandchildren, love of your city and your community, love of your state, love of your nation, and love of God Almighty and the sacrifice of his son. Paramount in this world should be love. There is no greater thing that we can express than love. And we can express it in many, many ways. But if it is not our priority, our priorities are out of order.
Right.
So, let us as Christians do like my mom did. Don't wait for someone to ask.
Here you go. Listen up. Listen up.
Don't wait for somebody to tell you to do it. Just step up. Step up and do the right thing. Make that love present. Make that love transparent. Make that love unconditional. And let that love guide you to doing what God would have you to do in fulfilling the will in your life. God bless you all. God bless this gathering. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What did you think of that? This is what we need in politics.
Yeah.
We need men like this of character. This guy is a man of character.
There you go.
Now that's something else to talk about
down.
in a second. But which one?
There he is, right there.
This is what put him on the map.
Yep.
And this was.
I've heard a whole lot of.
This is 3 minutes 38 seconds.
6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Now-
okay.
now he's-
But nobody knew who the hell this guy was.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's watch this. If you haven't seen this, you're in for a treat.
I've heard a whole lot of people in here talking tonight about this group and that group, and domestic violence and blacks, these minorities and that minority. What I want to know is, when are you all going to start standing up for the majority? And here's who the majority is. I'm the majority. I'm a law-abiding citizen who's never shot anybody, never committed a serious crime, never committed a felony. I've never done anything like that. But it seems like every time we have one of these shootings, nobody wants to put the blame where it goes, which is at the shooter's feet. You want to put it at my feet. You want to turn around and restrict my right, constitutional right that's spelled out in black and white. You want to restrict my right to buy a firearm and protect myself from some of the very people you're talking about in here tonight. It's ridiculous. I don't think Rod Serling could come up with a better script. It does not make any sense. The law-abiding citizens of this community and many communities around this country, we're the first ones taxed and the last ones considered and the first ones punished when things like this happens, because our rights are the ones that are being taken away. That's the reason why I came down here today. Gun show or no gun show, NRA or no NRA. I'm here to stand up for the law-abiding citizens of this community, because I'm going to tell you that what's going to happen. You can take the guns away from us all you want to. You all write a law, I follow the law, I'll bring my guns down here, I'll turn them in. But here's what's going to happen. The Crips and the Bloods on the other side of town, they're not going to turn their guns in. They're going to hold on to them. And what's going to happen when you have to send the police down there to go take them?
That's right.
The police can barely enforce the law as it is. As what I see, we demonize the police, criminalize and vilify the police, and we make the criminals into victims. And we're talking about restricting guns? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that when the police department's already hamstrung? You're not going to be able to go down here and take these guns from these criminals. So the criminals are going to hold on to their guns. They're still going to have them. They're still going to break in my house, and they're still going to shoot me with them. And guess who's going to be the one that suffers? It's going to be me. Well, I'm here to tell you tonight, it is not going to happen without a fight. And when I say fight, I don't mean shots fired. I don't mean fist thrown. I mean I'm going to come down here to this city council and raise hell just like these loonies from the left do until you listen to the majority of the people in this city. And I am the majority. The majority of the people in this city are law-abiding, and they follow the law, and they want their constitutional right to be able to bear arms. They want to be able to go to the gun show and buy a hunting rifle or a sport rifle. There are no military-grade weapons sold at the gun show. An AR-15 is not a military-grade weapon. Anybody that would go into combat with an AR-15 is a fool.
Yeah.
It's a semi-automatic 22 rifle. You'd be killed in 15 minutes in combat with that thing. So we need to dispel all these myths, and we need to drop all this division that we got going on here. Because the bottom line is, when that Second Amendment was written, whether the framers liked it or not, they wrote it for everybody. And I am everybody. And the law-abiding citizens of this city are everybody. And we want our rights, and we want to keep our rights. And by God, we're going to keep them, come hell or high water.
Yeah. Mic drop. Right? Total mic drop.
Yeah.
Right? That man is he's got some character. But I mean, he's right. And you know, Todd, you're basically saying don't obey evil laws. And you know, let me just put a Christian spin on that. Is you got to understand, folks, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and render unto God what is God's. And for example, if you know, let's just say that the state says that you're not allowed to homeschool, because there was a lot of resistance to the homeschool, you know, and they try and get you, you know, they send like children's services out and check on you, and they did weird shit for a while because they didn't like escaping from the matrix, the system, right?
Right.
So if the government comes along and tells you, for example, you have to send your kids to public school. And by the way, we're going to sexually indoctrinate them. We're going to let them decide their own gender fluidity. And if they want to actually change their biological sex, we're not going to tell you about that because we're not bound by law, because that's really not, it's not your responsibility as your parent, right? It is a perfect example of an unjust law. I don't care what fucking law you're going to make. If I would have kids, I would encourage people, or if you had kids, I would encourage you to go out into the middle of the woods where they can't find you.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I would tell you to do. So that they can't indoctrinate your children. And disobeying that, okay, so, and what if that's a felony to not raise your children as part of the state institution, right? What if they made it a felony? No, you're a felon, just like they made, you know, Donald Trump a felon.
Right.
Does that make you morally wrong? No, it doesn't. They're evil. And it's evil and an unjust law. And so that's just one example. And so if you apply it to the gun situation, right? I got a right to defend myself. And so I'm a little bit different with him, right? If they tell me to turn in my guns, it's not going to happen. Because I don't have any. I lost them all in a boating accident. Remember that? Boating accident?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was awful.
Yeah. And that thing over on the wall over there, it's just plastic. Right. I don't have any guns. So, let me see. What's Jeff going on about?
Oh, my ears are hurting. I mean, my head's hurting.
I don't believe you, Todd. I don't think it's Roman propaganda written into the scriptures. Okay. I just don't buy that. I believe that that the Gospels, the Synoptic Gospels and the Gospel of John give an accurate account, eyewitness testimony of things that they saw and heard, and what Jesus said and did. And I believe that for me, because that's a key verse now, guys. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and God is to God's. And what he's saying there is, look, you know, there are certain things that the government really has no business in. But, you know, like, for instance, the taxes. Okay, you want to pay taxes, right? So, because it's got Caesar's head on it, right? So, you know, I don't think that was necessarily put in there in order to change the popular people's attitudes about whether they should pay their taxes or not. You know, I'm not quite. I don't see it. But anyway. Paul was Roman. Yeah, he was a Roman citizen, right? But he was not about promoting the Roman government. Okay, he was in prison, and he sat there with a guard shackled to his damn leg all the time, right? So, yeah, I don't know. That's a well thought out argument. But anyway, I don't necessarily know that I want to get into an argument about the veracity of the Bible. I believe it's breathed out by God, and it was written down by men, and it was designed to have us understand the great mission of salvation that God embarked on and accomplished, that way we might be saved from the power and penalty of our sin. And so all we got to do is plead the blood of Jesus and confess with our hearts and our minds and mouths that Jesus is Lord. And, there's at this point, I'm totally unapologetic about the way I view things. I believe that the Bible is inerrant. I don't believe it was manipulated. I don't believe it was changed over time. I don't believe it's been corrupted because it was copies of copies of copies, because that's not the way it was transmitted. I believe it's completely inerrant, and it gives us everything for life and godliness. And that whole thing about render unto Caesar under Caesar's and God what is God's, for me, that's where, I understand, especially when in a time of tyranny, this is going to be more important to distinguish what is acceptable, right, to comply with the government versus what you are morally required to do as a Christian. And so, all right, I think I'm pretty much done, man. This was a 2-hour 20. But it's been a busy week, right? An exciting week, a week full of hope. And it's really, really nice to see the Republican Party coming together and gelled, and we're not infighting, and all this never Trumper movement is dead. Mm-hmm. And the message was about love. And I hope you really enjoyed that pretty much sermon from that prayer breakfast, because that is the key, that we need to be motivated out of love. And this project for me, this Truth Slinger project, has been a labor of love, literally. I do this because I believe in it. I believe it's important. I believe that I have a role to play in history, in all of this stuff. And this is me, like he was talking about, acting out of love. Nobody asked me to do it. I just felt compelled to do it, and I've been putting my shoulder against this thing, and just sometimes it just didn't feel like it's ever going to go anywhere. But I just continued to walk by faith rather than by sight. And now all of a sudden, we created it. We had faith that the proper time, in the fullness of time, right? Mm-hmm. Like that saying, that it would turn into something. It would incubate, and the news cycle, just all of a sudden, it's like, everybody's interested in what's going on. And I think when you almost assassinate a president, I think that it deeply unsettles people on a spiritual level. I think they realize how fragile everything is, and how things could change in a second, right? So there seems to be an awakening going on, and we're just happy to be here to receive, right? We had new people in here today, and I hopefully caught everybody's name as you guys came into the chat today, and I really enjoy different perspectives and whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you when I think you're wrong or whatever, but I don't mind you saying it, and because it gives me an opportunity when you come in here and say things. It gives me an opportunity to be able to put out information and educate people on what the truth is. And so, I don't mind talking about the Bible. And if you want to go deeper into that sometime and like literally talk about how the Bible was transmitted and why I believe it's reliable, and then we can do that sometime. Yep. But so happy to do it. So anyway, I think that's about it for the day. What do we got going on? The other last news item? The other last news item is apparently there's a huge disruption right now going on with the interwebs.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And apparently planes aren't flying.
Yep. Trains in D.C. are down.
Trains aren't training.
Mm-hmm.
Are we having any other problems in like hotels or other things?
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
I guess there's just a lot of damn problems. So I don't know why. I mean, they're describing it as an IT failure.
Yeah.
But wouldn't cyber attack be probably a little more likely considering the current circumstances that we're in?
Right. It's an IT global outage. Is what they're calling it.
Yeah, right. But why? It was working fine a minute ago.
Until
I
it
mean, right?
stopped.
I mean, what did you change? What happened, right? You know, did somebody trip over the laptop
Okay.
cord?
Do you know what CrowdStrike is?
Oh, I've heard it before. It's like a malicious.
Okay, so
Is it
says
DNS attack shit?
I don't know. It says global IT outage caused by cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike. Faulty update crashes Windows, affecting companies and organizations. PCs show the blue screen of death.
Oh.
Banks, airlines, media impacted.
Banks.
Many PCs require individual fixes.
Yep. Yeah, Chris, I would say that, yeah, somebody's testing the waters, right? This is, guys, like I said, like, share, subscribe, follow, get the
And
word out to
bookmark.
people.
Bookmark, please.
Yeah, like and bookmark, like and bookmark, like and bookmark.
Yep. Anytime you see a post from us, if you could click
Yeah,
the
just
bookmark.
for a little while anyway, and then you can go back and clean them up once it's a week old or something. You can unbookmark it, so you don't have to fill up your thing with bookmarks. But it just helps the algorithms, and we seem to be getting traction. And now that this stuff, I mean, there's 110 days between now and the election, or 109 now, and all bets are off. Okay, we don't know if there's going to be another attack on the president. We don't know if there's going to be an attack on the financial system. I mean, I think that financial system we might have a problem after he's elected, because I think that they might unleash some financial weapons. Yeah. But that's a whole other talk for another day. But you want to stay here with us. You want to help us grow, because the more people we get, the more fun it is, and the more eyes we get on this kind of stuff, and it helps us figure this shit out together. That's our tagline, man.
Yeah.
Let's hang out and just try to figure this shit out. And I think so far we've been doing a good job. I think that that it's been fun and everybody's entertained, and probably people are not entertained anymore because they're getting tired of listening to us. So anyway,
I'm getting tired of
we
listening
appreciate
to
she's
us.
getting listening to me. I can tell already. I'm getting that energy over here. It's the
My head hurts.
Yeah,
These
well-
glasses are squishing my head.
I know, it's terrible. Well, let's get
You don't
let's get those
care.
headphones off of you.
You don't care.
I do care. I do care.
No, you don't.
I could feel the negative energy going on. It's a man hungry. Feed me.
Oh my god.
All right, guys. Let me see. What do I do? This is the next thing I got to do. So anyway, yeah, just look over in the camera. Go. We really enjoyed having you. Thanks so much.
We'll be on later.
Yeah, we'll be on. Probably later on. We'll probably stream.
I'm sure there'll be something going on.
Yeah, and we'll go live if anything interesting happens. Maybe later.
And
so
then
if you want to drop in.
Have our Saturday night movie.
Yeah, I want to do the Saturday night watch party, and we're gonna watch Hillbilly Elegy. So you want to make sure to mark your calendars for that. Probably like 7 p.m. sounds good. Not too late.
Yeah, 7 sounds good.
7 sounds good.
Eastern.
Yeah, 7 Eastern Standard Time, and that will be fun. And then join us for church on Sunday. I'm going to pick up on Matthew 4. That's at 1 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time on Sunday.
Yep.
And then, of course, we'll be back Monday morning doing this extremely successful morning program.
Yep.
That we just really believe that God's blessing it. So we appreciate
start
it.
a new diet and everything on Monday.
Yeah, Monday is always a reset, right? One way or another, right? But we'll start it all over, and we'll go, oh, shit, it's morning again. And we'll do it all over again one more
We can't
time.
say it's shit. It's
Okay.
morning again.
It's morning again. I thought about naming it, oh, God, it's morning again. But I think I like the name. All right, we're done. I'm just babbling now.
You are.
We love you.
Totally.
We love you. Peace out. All those symbols and shit, right?
Bye.
I'm True Slinger. That's Hippie Chick. We out.